Jill with Angel Creations. Welcome back to my craft room. I hope you had an excellent weekend. I had a wonderful weekend, nothing special, just kind of rested and had fun and, you know, all the things, right? I just had a very nice weekend. All right, so today I am going to repurpose this Dollar Tree house frame that I was going to use obviously for a Christmas craft at one point, and I'll tell you why I'm using it instead of a new one. I'm kind of crafting my stash and I need a kickstand on this one, so I'm using this because I don't have a new one. And I will tell you that previously it looks like I went around and gave this a good sanding, because these frames, not all of them, but some of them have a shiny like a, I don't know, veneer of some sort. So I definitely have gone around this. Probably should go a little bit more, but definitely sand these. If you've tried to paint them and you've had a hard time with it, the paint beading up, that's why. It's because there's like a little veneer of some sort. Anyways, I am going to take this out of the frame and I'm going to trace the back of it so that I can put paper now on here. I'm going to get rid of the little, I forget what you call that at the moment. And this will let me get in here and sand this a little bit better too. You don't want to have all of this nice project and then your frame beads up and won't take the paint, right? So it's better to do a little of the prep work now. It's kind of like when you're painting your house, you have to do the prep. If you don't do the prep, it won't come out as nice, right? I've learned that. I have tried to do the shortcut, the lazy way, in painting my home or homes several times, and then I learned, take those hinges off the cabinets before you paint. Don't paint over them. And you know, all the little tape around the window sills and all those things make it much neater, and I just am so much happier with the end result when I go ahead and I take the time and prep my surface or my room or whatever I'm painting. There's times when I don't, and I'm wished I had, right? And so today is going to be one of those days that I do it and then I don't have to have any regrets. All right, so obviously I have already covered this with a piece of material, which is beautiful, but it's okay. We don't need to worry about that. We are going to Mod Podge our paper right onto this fabric. So I'm just going to trace it out real quick. We all know how to do that. Let me know in the comments if you had an exciting weekend. I know Patty, one of my subscribers, wrote to me, and she's traveling, so I hope that you had safe travels, Patty, and that you are at your destination safe and sound. And yeah, let me know what's going on in your life. What's the newest? All right, cut this house shape out. We don't have to be fussy because the frame is gonna hide our edges if we go a little over. And maybe even a little under, it would hide it too. All right, let's get some Mod Podge. You know what, that one's, let's get one of these Mod Podges. They are a little more handy. And not as much. I'm gonna put, because this has fabric and it's gonna take a lot of my Mod Podge, I'm just gonna pour it right onto my fabric and then use my brush from there. And I like to use a makeup brush from the Dollar Tree when I use my Podge. That's not my idea. I found that through somebody else's channel. I just don't know who did that. And so I tried it, and yeah, I prefer it too. I need a little more. We need less is more when it comes to paper and Mod Podge, but because this fabric is going to soak most of it in, it's going to have to be a little heavier than normal because, you know, you want that nice and tacky. So put a good layer. Well, I'm putting a good layer on because it's fabric. You're going to not have fabric. If you use this from the Dollar Tree, yours won't already have fabric on it. All right, let's put our piece of my paper, scrapbooking paper. And this comes from, you guessed it, Hobby Lobby. That's where I get. Dollar Tree is starting to come out with some nice scrapbooking paper, but they're very small. They're about 6 by 6 in measurement, and so yeah, it's a little difficult to craft with that size. All right, now I am going to leave my glass piece off of this project, and I'm going to make sure that this is good and dry. And then what I would like to do is distress this before I go too much further. So it's still a little bit wet, and let me just put you on pause for a minute, and I will blow this a little bit with the heat gun. It is raining and pouring, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so that's pretty good. So now I am going to take my Best Home Dark Sealing Wax by Kilns, and I got this on Walmart.com. My sister got hers at Walmart in the craft department, no, in the painting department. So I think you can even get this at Lowe's and Home Depot or Ace Hardware even. I am just going to take some of that wax off and dab my brush. You can do this with Antique Waverly wax as well. And then I'm just going to darken up my edges. I like to go in from the inside out, right? So that I don't catch my paper. Sometimes I go, I don't know, whatever I feel, but mostly I go around the edges, and you can press down if you want that darker. You learn with your, you know, when you start doing distressing, if you don't already, you'll learn how much pressure. You go light at first, always, and then come in and go darker or heavier with a little more pressure with your hand. Alright, so my edges are pretty well dark. I don't know if you can tell. And so now I'm just going to go up and down my whole surface because I want that distressed. I kind of got a little too much there. And the reason we're dabbing is we're dabbing some off and some up inside the bristles, so that when you do go down and bear down, there's some up in your bristles. Does that make sense? It's so cute. And then we'll sand it, and that's how you distress the background. Or you could have done it with the Antique Waverly wax as well. I think that's so funny when I say that. I feel like I sound like Elmer Fudd, is that his name? Waverly Wax. Wascally Wabbit. I keep my same brush. I don't even clean it. I use the same brush with my little wax, and I just put a little elastic around it just to keep it with it. Now I'm going to just take my little sanding sponge and give that a little sanding just to make it look even more old and distressed than it originally is. Perfect. Love it. And I would go more if we weren't putting a design on this, but let's get into our design. Let's put this aside for a minute. I picked out some pumpkins that I liked the size of, and we're going to pluck their stems off, or some of their stems. Oh yeah, I guess we'll keep all of their stems off except for the very top pumpkin. Oh, I got an itchy eye. And I like the colors that I've chosen. So this one is the orange, obviously, orange pumpkin, and it does have a little nub on the bottom that I'm going to try to get off of there. I think I'll do that right now. Let's get that little, and it's not where the stem goes, which is peculiar. So this one, wow, that's quite a little nubby. Wow, I don't know what that's made out of, but I have a very sharp knife here. Let me try snips. Maybe there's a wire in there. Look at, there's something in there. I don't know what it was, but it made it really hard. It's making it hard for my pumpkin to lay flat, but that's okay. What we're gonna do is cut our pumpkins in half. So I'm just going to take my craft knife and cut right down and try to do my very best at going right through the center of the pumpkin so that this will be right in half. This is the strangest pumpkin. It's like blowing up styrofoam in my hand. Let's see. I might have to get a different knife. No, I guess that'll do. So then we have half of our pumpkin, right? So we have one half. Now my next one, I think I want to have the white one. So let's just see how this one cuts. Probably a good steak knife, like maybe a good serrated knife or a nice knife that has a longer blade than the one I'm working with. This is a nice sharp knife, that's why I chose it. So there will be my white pumpkin. Yeah, I think that one. And I'm gonna save these, so you know, there's always another next year or another craft. All right, I'm gonna do the same with my little green one. Has a different texture actually, so let's see what this looks like inside. Nope, same thing inside. So there's our green one, and then we have to keep the stem on this, so I'm gonna cut around my stem on the baby one. So it's probably more like a 3/4 pumpkin on top because we want to keep that stem in place. So I cut right behind the stem on that. So that's our stacking pumpkins. Let's get rid of this mess. All right, I don't know what that was in that pumpkin. It's definitely wire. I bent it, so it's definitely wire. Look at my. All right, now that we're done cutting, whew, we got styrofoam everywhere. We're gonna take our little surface back. Well, before we do that, I want to paint my frame black. So let's do that so that it can get drying. And I'm going to use my new favorite black from the Dollar Tree. It's put out by Plaid. I have found that I love that company, Plaid. like anything they make, sprays, I'm there. I'm loving the Plaid company. I have some definite favorite things from Plaid. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but I definitely do. Alright, I poured mine all over this. I am going to paint this off camera to save some time. But you see what I'm doing, and I'm going to get in all the nooks and crannies. I want coverage on this whole thing. And don't forget, make sure you sand this in a lot of your Dollar Tree frames, because they will bead your paint. You know, it won't stay. It'll just, you'll run over and over and over it, and it will just keep beading up. The reason that is because it's got a veneer or something over it, and that is what's doing that. And I just found that just by living and learning, that's what it is. So sand it up nice. It gives it a really nice finish anyway. All right, I will be right back. Okay, so now that we have our frame beautifully painted, we're gonna scuff it up a little, right? You don't have to do this. I like to do this on my projects because I like to decorate in a primitive style, and so but farmhouse people love this. So if you don't like this step, by all means don't do it. You do you, boo, and I'll do me, and that makes everybody happy, right? So I hate sanding, but I love the effect that it gives. I want this to look weathered and worn and distressed, and I'm going around the whole thing, but just a little. So I'm not doing it off camera because I'm really just doing a little bit to it. And you want to sand it in all the different directions, on the inside and on the outside, right? Because it's not just going to wear on one side. So just give it a little zhuzhing to your liking, or not. And another way to do this without actually sanding it is, I'm not going to do the bottom because we are going to cover that, is to take a little white chalk paint and dry brush that on here. That's cute too. That's a cute way to distress too. All right, I like to do a little bit of the sanding. So there's my frame all beat up. All right, now before we'll put this aside, we're going to take our little surface back out and put our pumpkins on. So let's make a placement before we go too far. That's going to be perfect. And yeah, that's going to be great. So I'm going to use the low temp heat gun on this, as this is all styrofoam. And then in between each layer of our pumpkins, and I'm putting a heap ton because it's styrofoam, so a lot of it's going to melt. But in between each one of our layers, eyeballing that into the middle, we're going to put a little Spanish moss. I like to keep mine in an old diaper wipe container. Excuse me. Excuse me. Too much talking. Okay, so that's good. So now I'm going to put just a little bit of moss on the front. Just a little pinch. This is really messy to play with, but I love it. I'm going to cut that because that's like perfect. So we're going to use that to our advantage. So I'm just going to glue that right down to my orange pumpkin. And then I'm going to take my next pumpkin and I'm going to glue that down on top with another heap ton That's my measurement. That's my measurement for hot glue. I use a heap ton. And then we have a perfect amount of moss we can just stick onto our next piece. Roll that out a little bit longer even. Just stick that down. And we'll put our next little pumpkin. And I love how this muted green and the white look together, right? I love the muted green pumpkins in fall. And this is going to be my last fall craft of the season. I have one more Halloween craft that I would like to squeeze in, and then I am going to be moving on to Christmas. It's October 2nd, and I know it's early, but it's time for us crafters to be moving on to Christmas because we need them done so we can decorate our homes, right? All right, we're gonna go in a little further this time with our glue because this pumpkin is pretty small. So we're just gonna put our little bit of Spanish moss in between. I'm gonna see what we got going on there. I'm gonna give this a little haircut right there. Right there. And then we are gonna glue our baby pumpkin on top. It's so funny. It's been a rainy day, then it's been a sunny day, and then it was misting, and it's just been crazy. All right, we're gonna put that one right up on top. That is so cute, our little stacking pumpkins. And now let's just, I'm gonna just give this a little, I need glue, I need glue. Oh no, I need glue. I have glue. I just want to tack this, instead of giving it a haircut, I just want to tack this piece of moss kind of down. So it's hanging down a little bit, and I might do the same thing. No, that one's wild and squiggly. That one's good. All right, so there is, I don't know why I keep saying there is our stacking pumpkins. They're so cute. I love the colors. Love the colors. All right, now we're going to put this back in our frame, and I am going to use this time a little high temp glue in the inside, even though, especially in the corners, even though we have the little clips, because, oh, shoot, I just squirted glue on the outside of my frame. So let me grab that real quick. There we go. Because I want this, even though we have the clips, I want it to fit really good and securely down in. My clip was in the way there, ruining my paper there. Ugh. All right. Getting it in and fussing with it a little bit because I had an oopsie and I waited too long. So hopefully, yeah, I think we did it. I think we managed it. I have little fuzzy hairs driving me crazy because I have a ceiling fan on high, and all, you know, the little regrowth hairs, they're like in my eyes and in my mouth. All right, now I'm gonna fold those clips. They're the ones that got me kind of screwed up here. But we're gonna fold those over and look at that. We're not done. We're not done. We are gonna put a little spray at the bottom. But isn't that adorable already? All right, so what I have here, we'll leave that there for a second. Look at the apples. You guys, if you're not following me over on YouTube, no, over on Facebook, you should be following me over there. Excuse me. We made faux candy apples over there Saturday night, and in my Saturday Night Live. Look at, here they are. We made a caramel apple with peanuts, and the peanuts are made out of pebbles. Yeah, from the Dollar Tree. Look at this one. This is a red candied apple with coconut, and the coconut is painted white rice. And this one hasn't been sprayed shiny yet because it's rainy, and I haven't been able to coat this one yet. But this one has the faux sprinkles that actually come in these makeup brushes from the Dollar Tree. And I saved them because I knew I wanted to make faux food, and so those were so much fun. So you guys, every Saturday night I'm live, God willing, I'm live on Facebook, so you guys should come and check me out. Okay, now I'm getting into the faux foods. Not a lot, just a little. I wanted to try it. All right, I have a bunch of little picks here, and I want really a little bit. Like, I think I want to pull these right off, and that's how short I want them. So I'm just going to make a little spray because I don't want a big one. And I'm going to take maybe this. These have to be cut. So we'll cut this one off, and we'll cut this one. So I have 2 of those and 2 of those. And let's get the heat gun out of the way. And then I want a couple of little white ones too. Like that. Okay. And I'm just going to take my, and look, I haven't even cleaned up, but we put those little candy apples in little cupcake things, and they're in cellophane bags with the little raffia, and they have little tags, and they're just as cute as can be. I need my jute. My jute fell in the hole here. I'm just going to wrap this. I'm going to hold all of these stems together and do the best that I can. And then I'm just going to squish them together. It's easier to do it than to explain it. But anyway, we're zhuzhing them all together, and now I'm trying to hold them all together and wrap. This is great. Everything is great. How's your day? It's great. All right, hold on. We got it. We got this. We got this, girl. We got this. All right. Wrap that around, even if you have your cover flying around. You just want to get that wrapped around enough to hold it so that you can let go of it. This is real life. And then we're going to cut that off and tie the 2 ends together. Tie it tight. And then we're going to glue that with a little tiny, look, one of my things is not really in there, so I'm just going to put it in there now because I still have a little bit I can wrap. So I'm just going to wrap it and tie it again because I kind of had lost a little piece. I don't know if that makes sense. I just tied it in at the end. Tying it again. Snipping off my ends. And putting our darn cover back on here correctly. So that won't happen again. And then I have a couple of pieces of rags that I'm just going to cut and make a real small rag bow. Because that piece isn't going to work. Because I want it small but I want it there. All right, so I'm gonna take a layer of each. I'm gonna crisscross them and pull that together with my fingers. I'm just gonna pinch it. Might as well use jute again. We'll just wrap it in the middle a couple of times, and we'll tie that up. And the tighter you tie it, the better you cinch it, the cuter it really is. Make sure it's all even and that you're going to tie it in the middle. Let me fiddle with it before I tie it tight. Once you tie that tight, no more fiddling. Oh, I love the ticking and the homespun. So cute. Alright, I'm pulling it. I'm good. It goes. Commitment. Ah! That's my hardest thing. Okay, with crafting, making that commitment to put something someplace sometimes is the hardest part. Alright, I'm cutting it, my little tails of jute, so they're not hanging down. And here goes. We are going to put our spray right down here on the bottom. I am going to cut this plastic green piece off though. It's a little much. And I'm just going to put this right down on the bottom with a heap ton of glue. Like so. Holding that, holding that. Cute. It's very cute. Holding that still. By accident I used the hot glue, the hot high temp one, so that's going to take us a minute here. But that's okay. And then we're going to just put our little bow in the middle. It's going to be darling, darling. I love it. So yes, keep your eye out for the makeup brushes at the Dollar Tree. They have sprinkles in them. Sometimes they have colored crystals. Those would be fun to make faux food with too. But I'm going to keep my eye out for the sprinkles because I only have 2 of these makeup brushes and I use them for Mod Podge. And they, I have already used those sprinkles, so now I need more sprinkles. I'm sure we can order them off Amazon, but okay, I am going to attach my bow, and people, this project will be finished. Woo! And how cute is that? Let me just hold that. Not sure which glue gun I just used, the hot temp or the low temp, but this is so cute. And you need to do it with the kickstand, or I guess you could put Jenga blocks too. You know, if you can find the surface that you like and it doesn't have a kickstand, you can always put Jenga blocks on it. All right, you guys, that is our finished project. What do we think? This is a great time for you to give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button because we are at 606, I think, at last check. We need to get up to 650 subscribers and we're going to do a giveaway. So every time I do a Dollar Tree haul, which is every Tuesday, one of the items goes in the giveaway box. So it's really a good sized box of stuff. Right now, I think I might still be able to get it all in a medium. If it fits, it ships. But we'll see. It might have to go the next size up. Well, it depends, right? On how long it takes to get to 650 subscribers. So help a girl out. Share this with your friends, family, and social media. And what do you think of that? I love it. Let's see. Look, it stands like that. It is just so pretty and fallish. Now, it is October 2nd, so we are going to be crafting for Christmas. I do have one more Halloween craft in mind. It is in my books. We will see what happens. I don't know. I might just move on to Christmas, so I don't know. But anyway, until I see you again on Tuesday Tree Haul, I hope that you be good and do good. Bye now. Hey, don't forget, where's my candy? Look at all the candy. Don't forget to go to, oh, look at these. Wait, I ate all those. Look at these. Those are Jolly Ranchers, dehydrated. Go and check out his website. It's in the description box below every one of my videos. Nathan will ship it to you, and it is phenomenal. If you're a candy person like me, I'm telling you, So I've already eaten half a bag of the fruit roll-ups, and I can't stop. Anyway, be good and do good. Love ya. Bye now.